derail the Vikes? Or can Collins carry the offense to victory? Which gladiators will prevail in Oakland's Coliseum? Their age are rich in talent, but it's Ray's Ravens that have the most dominant defense. It's the final prime time before the Super Bowl. Who will call themselves the conference champs? NFL Prime Time. Next.
NFL Primetime is presented by Miller Lite. Primetime is Miller time. And now, here's your host, Chris Berman.
Well, happy Championship Sunday to you, everybody. Chris Berman along with Tom Jackson. A long, long time ago, when the movie came out, 2001, A Space Odyssey. Wasn't Hal the computer trying to pick these football games?
I think this whole season's been a space odyssey, and this was very apropos what we saw today in the championship
but
games.
certainly, we knew something. We knew Minnesota would be favored over the Giants because Minnesota had a good offense. The Giants, Baltimore with the defense. How could they possibly beat the Oakland Raiders at home? So obviously, Raiders, Vikings, they were steamrolling on their way to Tampa, right? That's why they play the games. Here we go in the NFC Championship. Giant Stadium has won one NFC title game there. It was a shutout, 17-0 and 86 for those G-men. That's Jim Fossil and these G-men. Kerry Collins. First quarter, the game turned when the Giants won the coin flip. Collins, the well-dressed Amani Toomer, missed a couple of days of practice. Doesn't look like it here, 16 yards. Collins, play action. Oh, and the Giants, you know they're going to come out running, right, Tom? Wrong. Toomer, 10 yards out of bounds. Collins, Ike Hilliard, Keith Thibodeau on his Thibodeaus. Can't get him. Ike Hilliard, touchdown. G-Man, 7-0. While LT and the Giants look on, it couldn't get any better than this. Mo Williams, Troy Walters, it's a loose ball. Mo, Larry, Curley, they all fumble it. Lyle West is on there for the Giants. Next play from the 18, and you go for the jugular. Collins to Greg Camella. We've been talking about that Collins-Camella combination all year long. 14-0, G-Man.
Great play call on the shooting up. You're going to see Dwayne Rudd in coverage right there, arrowed. Trouble keeping his footing right there around the 10-yard line. Camilla, nice catch, good footwork.
Still first quarter on their own, one? Collins, two. Tom, is there a Viking playing pass defense? Where are they? 3 plays later, 3rd and 13. Is there a Viking playing? Well, let's play prevent defense and give him 20 yards. Collins to Hilliard, 15 yards. Look at Kerry Collins. A bit of bad luck here as the ball is tipped at the line by a Viking, Hovan. Off the face mask of Rondane. And here comes Minnesota, the turning point of the game. Robert Tate has the interception.
As you said, Hovan gets the tip at the line of scrimmage. Rondane lost track of the football, hits him in the helmet right there, and Tate with a fairly easy interception. And you thought this might be a turning point for the Vikings.
Some of the great Giants like Kelce introduced before the game, and so he's trying to inspire his defense, and boy, were they inspired. Daunte Culpepper looking for Chris Carter. Emmanuel McDaniel with a big pick in the end zone. G-Man defense.
And what a great playoff Michael Strahan is having, working against Corey Stringer right here. Look at the power rush, throws him off at the end, and that pressure helped cause the pick in the end zone.
Well, he did it to Runyon last week. He did it to Stringer today. And here's more defense.
Yeah, Cedric Jones coming around the corner on Culpepper. Michael Strahan coming from the top of the screen just beats Corey Stringer around that corner. Boy, the defense was fired up for the Giants.
Michael Barrow right there, and LT applauding the D. Later in the second, it's the offense of the Giants. And what an offense this was. Collins to Ron Dixon, who had that big kick return last week. Oh, what a catch he makes. 44 yards. 2 plays later, another Giant back at the wideout. It's that famed Collins to Joe Giravicious combination. That's beautiful. Fernando Smith couldn't catch Collins. 24-0. G-Man.
Good play coming from all areas defensively. Jason Sehorn on Randy Moss out in the flat. Limits the yardage there. 4 or 5 yard gain. 2 plays later, 3rd and 1. Watch John Davis and watch the smack right there by Dave Thomas.
Dave Thomas, Rick Moranis, the McKenzie brothers, all of them playing defense. And it's for the Viking offense. What? They watched the Giants play offense. Collins to Ike Hilliard, who had an unbelievable day. 10 catches for Hilliard. That was 28 yards. Collins, Hilliard, touchdown. before the half, the lay-in, 34-0. G-Men. In the third quarter, after a Culpepper fumble on the first play, Collins to Monty Toomer. He's going to spike it. No, his hands are so good. It's 41-0. G-Men. Harry Carson, Wellington Mara, the classy owner. Mel Hine, all the Hall of Famers are there. For Chris Carter, Randy Moss, stunning. Jim Fossil, wet. 7-0 since he said we're going places. And look at Jesse Armstead. Remember, they battled a year ago. And look at them arm in arm. Kerry Collins. We'll get to his numbers in a moment because he was absolutely fantastic. But we'll get to him now. 5 touchdown passes, 28 of 39 for 381. 2 quarterbacks in postseason play, LaMonica and Steve Young, have had 6 touchdown passes. Collins joins 1 of 5 now that's had 5 in postseason play. Afterwards, Jaws with maybe the G-Man, one of the newest G-Men, but one of the oldest players in the league, savoring it.
Thomas Brown, you are going to the Super Bowl. How do you feel?
Man, I feel so great out there. Oh, man, it feels so great, Ron. It feels so
41 points. Did you ever expect this kind of explosion out of your offense?
I mean, we knew we were capable of doing it, and we knew we had to come out here and help our defense because they played so awesome. Man, it feels so good, and I'm so happy. I'm so proud to be a New York Giant.
You got to be a little bit shocked by the way you dominated.
Oh, man, this is how we felt all week. You know, it was all talk about Minnesota's offense and our defense, and we kept our mouth shut and just let it play out today, and it was amazing.
Did you really think you could shut out this explosive offense of the Vikings?
But Coach Fox came with that attitude. You know, we figured they want points on us, but Coach Fox had the attitude. He said he didn't want no points on the board. So, hey, we got to do what he say.
All right, Jesse, congratulations. Good luck in Tampa. Back to you, Boomer.
All right, Josh, outstanding. The Giants have now won 7 in a row. Their last loss when many folks gave up on them when they were beaten by the Lions November 19th. 7 in a row since then. Hilliard caught 10. Toomer caught 6. There was 10 for 155. And as we roll on, Jim Fossil. Well, he could stand pretty tall.
One team in this league that already calls himself America's team. But I told him, I said, you know what? We're living the American dream. We're the American dream. Where if you, in this country or playing in this league, if you got a belief, you got a determination, and you got teamwork, there pretty much isn't anything you can accomplish if you got some talent. We have talent. I mean, they got great focus right now, and I'm just excited that we're going to the Super Bowl. I think we shocked a lot of people, but we didn't shock ourselves.
It's not like we're new at this. It's not like we're new in the game. I think a certain amount of credit go to the Giants. They played very well on the surface. At home, they did a lot of great things, but most of it, again, has to fall on yourself. My ability and the team's ability to do a better job.
Sean Payton faxes the game plan over to us on Tuesday night and put a little note on it. He said, John Cougar Mellencamp, best stuff we do. All right, that was his message.
What's in Tampa?
The Super Bowl this year, right?
Excuse me, what did you say?
The Super Bowl.
We have a little static in the mic. What did you say one more time?
I think it's the Super Bowl.
I think he said Super Bowl, people. Watch out. The Giants are coming.
Why not? I mean, my God. You heard Kerry Collins say that Sean Payton, a coordinator, calls the plays, faxed the game plan on Tuesday night.
Yes.
I got to think there was a moment, Tommy, the players' day off on Tuesday.
Yes.
Jim Fossil, his offensive staff, are looking at film at the third time. But wait a minute. Turn on the lights. Shut off the projectors. Oh, my God. We didn't realize we could do this to the Vikings. Let's change this game plan. My goodness, this was over in a hurry.
Well, I think they certainly saw something. And, you know, if you look at the Vikings losing 4 of their last 5 football games, a lot of them were in similar fashion. Whether it was Brett Favre or Peyton Manning or Kurt Warner, you were able to throw the football on them. 10 of the first 15 plays scripted by the Giants were passes, so they came out to throw the football. But this is as close to a perfect football game as I think we will see. There's not an area that you can pick. Kerry Collins, 300 yards passing by halftime. Wide receiver receivers, outstanding. DBs playing the football, good tackling by the linebackers, pressure at the line of scrimmage by the D-line. Lomas Brown and company, outstanding day. Even the coverage teams, great today for the New York Giants. So this was an outstanding football game played at the perfect time for Jim Fossil and his football team.
And 14-0 before the vaunted Viking offense, which, by the way, got only 114 yards, came on the field. They made Culpepper look like McNabb last week. Giants got 518 yards. So I would say the Vikings better draft defense, defense, and defense.
Well, and we've said it all year. I think that, you know, with all of the offensive power that we see in this league, there was the understanding that to get to the Super Bowl, you had to have your defense play well. And I think that's what we saw. All areas played well, but the defense has been very consistent for the Giants all year.
I love what Wellington Maris said on the PA after the game. Well, we were the worst team ever to be the #1 seed in the NFC. We're now the worst team ever, with tongue firmly implanted right here, to win the NFC Championship, and in 2 weeks they're trying to become the worst team ever to win the Super Bowl.
Good thing.
41-0. They look pretty bad. We go inside the numbers for the G-Men. And last week, of course, they had big plays other than on offense against Philadelphia. Today it was big play after big play after big play. 34 points in the first half, almost 400 yards against the whole total last week. Tommy, you pointed it out. The Giants have been playing football for what, 75, 76 years? And they've never had a playoff game as lopsided as this one. Yikes.
Inside the Numbers is brought to you by Visa, the preferred card of the NFL. Visa, it's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
Well, we go to the late game. The Ravens brought their defense. Rich Gannon and the Raiders found out how good that was.
Bell Primetime is presented by Miller Lite. Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time. And in part by Visa, the preferred card of the NFL. Visa, it's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
The Super Bowl will be there in Tampa. We begin Sunday morning. Tommy and I will be there with our NFL Countdown gang, appearing on SportsCenter at 10:30 a.m., and then reports from Tampa every SportsCenter. So that means 8,000 reports coming when we actually kick off the game. We'll be back. And Shannon Sharpe, he didn't catch many balls. Certainly he wouldn't be a factor in today's game. The Ravens at the Raiders in the AFC.
NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite.
The Oakland Raiders. First AFC Championship game in Oakland since 1976. They've been blowing teams out at home. But this is Ray Lewis and the Ravens defense that set a record. John Gruden trying to come up with that game plan to just chip away at that Ravens defense. Scoreless first quarter, late. Rich Gannon, picked up by Robert Beetle Bailey, hit the first big break of the game. And that leads to Pro Bowl kicker Matt Smokey Stover. So this is automatic. Except, done! Raiders dodge a bullet. 36-yard field goal, no good. Look at the crowd. Alcatraz open again. Second quarter, Trent Dilfer, sacked by William Thomas. So this is going to be the first time in the game, Tom, early second quarter, that Oakland's going to get field position after this punt, because certainly, oh no, Marquez Paul plays the Matador defense. It's Dilfer to Shannon Sharpe. He could go all the way. 96 yards. It turned a Raider advantage into a Raider disaster.
Yeah, and you take a look at the big picture here. Marquez Pope going to miss the initial tackle. Anthony Dorsett, who was arrowed, going to come over, take the wrong approach angle, and Shannon Sharpe is off to the races.
Ensuing drive, Raiders. Tony Siragusa charges in and knocks Rich Gannon down, twisting, turning, collarbone injury. We'll probably find out it may have been broken.
Yeah, Tony Siragusa, about 340 pounds, and you see him bring all his weight down on Rich Gannon, and certainly that was trouble for the rest of the game for the Raiders.
Bobby Hoying hasn't played a meaningful snap since September. Tyrone Wheatley gets the ball stuffed by Ray Lewis. Hoying, oh my goodness, he's going to throw it from his own 8. It's picked off by Dwayne Starks, who stretched down to the 21-yard line. Gannon. Now look at this. He's on his way to the locker room, and he looks up. But Gannon comes out. Whatever they did, second half, Could he be like Brian Greasy was against these Raiders on that Monday night? Meanwhile, here comes the defense. Johnny Harris picks off Trent Dilfer. Raiders get some life, down 10-0. Leads to 1st and goal. But Tyrone Wheatley ran it 12 times for 7 yards, Tom.
Yeah, this defense stuffs you at the line of scrimmage, and you realize when you get down in short yardage situations where things get very tight, it gets very difficult.
And then this is Gannon being dragged out by Jamie Sharper. So 3rd and goal began at the 2. Now they're at the 7. And a little behind, but Randy Joe, he had a touchdown, baby. But the Raiders have to settle for a field goal, and who would have known that was about it? 10-3 with the score 13-3 after a Stover field goal. Jamal Lewis hits a fumble. The Raiders have a Pope, and the Ravens have a priest. This one, it was Marquez Pope that recovered. So it leads to Gannon. It really does. We're going to freeze this play for a moment, maybe a few moments, and he's going to go back to pass, and he's going to be, see, it's amazing the protection he got on that play. He's going to be picked off by Dwayne Starks, his 2nd pick of the day. You could tell Gannon was not right. That was obvious. Return to the 49-yard line. And then if you really didn't know he wasn't right, early 4th. Hit, fumble. Ray Lewis is there, and the Ravens are in business again.
Yeah, and Ray Lewis is always around the football. Unfortunate set of events here. Lincoln Kennedy's foot kicks the ball out of Gannon's hand, and again, Ray Lewis always around the football.
Later in the 4th, with the Ravens owning this game 16-3. One of the few big gainers is hoying to Terry Kirby. But it's a fumble! And guess who? It's Dwayne Starks edging ahead in that .com poll again. And he recovers, but the Raiders are going to challenge. And the play is overruled. So they keep the ball, pointing to Bad Moon Rising, but Bad Move Rising. Penalty nullifying the touchdown.
Yeah, and you're out in space, and you got the side judge looking for this, and right there you see the push off. It's an obvious call for the official.
And then,
pretty easy call.
And then look at the Ravens defense. Are they unbelievable? Jamie Sharper is right there at the 1. To end the threat, to end the game. The Ravens D, along with a little bit from Trent Dilfer, and some outstanding coaching for Brian Billick. Art Modell, been an owner since 1960. The Ravens are moving to the championship game in unbelievable style, holding the Raiders to just 3 points. This is a team that blew teams out at home all year long. Shannon Sharp. What, 1 for 96? It was pretty big. He's with Susie Colbert.
As good as this Ravens defense is, sometimes all it takes is one big play from the offense. Today, that big play belonged to Shannon Sharp. But Shannon first, very few people gave you guys a chance to come in here and beat the Raiders at home. How satisfying?
It's very satisfying. We believed all week. No one gave us a chance. We listened to everybody talk. The Ravens can't score enough points. The Raiders offense is so good, we're for real.
You're backed up at the 4-yard line, no score in the second. Give us your view of the 96-yard touchdown.
Well, we had quick slants on. They went cover 0, and I know once I got inside, I had him. And I said, well, if Trent put the ball in front of me, I don't have to break stride. I got a chance. I really wasn't expecting to go to the house. I was just basically trying to get a first down. But when it opened up, there was no one there, so it was off to the races. I'm not as fast as I used to be, but I'm not too bad for an old guy.
The longest touchdown in postseason history. Congratulations. You guys are the AFC champs.
Thanks, Susie. Hey, bro, you went out on a limb with us. All the jokers out there drinking Haterade, we bought our hater spray today. Later.
Back to the studio.
Oh, we're going to have to live with Sterling. Hey, look, the Ravens go into Tennessee and win.
Yes.
The Ravens go into Oakland and hold them to 3 points and win. So Shannon, 1 for 96 today, 1 for 56 last week, but it was a huge play to get him back. 3 for 73 against Denver. These numbers don't add up. Oh, until you look at the defense. Have we seen a better defensive unit?
It's a defense through the playoffs that's given up 16 total points, and I don't think we have seen a better defense. And if you believe in statistics, the best run defense in the history of the game, they make you one-dimensional. You had the Raiders who average almost 160 yards rushing the football per game, 24 yards today. Nice. Ray Lewis, the dominant player in the league defensively. And I hope people understand, this is Dick Butkus, this is Joe Green in his prime. You know, mentally, physically, everything right now is tuned, and he is very, very motivated to play well.
Let's put a little something in perspective. The last loss for Baltimore before Halloween, okay, that's October 29th. To Pittsburgh. They've won 10 straight games.
Yes.
They're the third AFC team in the last 4 years to use this 4 seed, the top wild card, to get into the Super Bowl. Denver, of course, won it all in '97. And I'm going to make the one prediction I'm going to get right all day, okay? I think the Ravens might be watching this when they fly their plane home.
Good.
Which is flying on its own, by the way. See you in Tampa. Well earned. By the way, he had the 16 points Tommy talked about in the playoffs. To the 165 they gave up in the regular. Still in 19 games, they would still own the record for a 16-game season. Whoa. Game balls. When we return, to give you a hint, it's probably Ravens and Giants getting them.
Goes to the record-setting quarterback of the Giants, Kerry Collins, 28 of 39, 381 yards, over 300 of it in the first half, 5 touchdowns. What a great day.
He's on a list with like Joe Montana, Sid Luckman, and I'm going to give it to the whole defense. Your newer name, Sharper, Starks, they came to the forefront today. Raiders defense, Ravens defense, can you play any better? When we return, Super Bowl matchups. We'll talk about it.
Primetime is presented by Miller Lite. Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time. And in part by Nobel, the power to change.
It's the first time since 1980 the two underdogs have won the championship game on the same day. 1980 Philly beat Dallas, and in 1980 Oakland won at San Diego. So we go now to Tampa, where the Giants won 10 years ago, and the Raiders are hoping to get back. The Ravens are about a 1.5 point early favorite. We got 2 weeks to talk about it. It's going to be a great game.
I think it makes for a great Super Bowl, classic matchup. You got the number 1 and 2 rush defenses in football playing against each other. Perfectly balanced football team in the Giants, and one of the great defenses to ever play in the Baltimore Ravens. And are they good enough to go and win a Super Bowl? You certainly, when you watch them today, they look good enough to win any game.
And you talk about 2 nice stories in the quarterbacks alone.
Yes.
Trent Dilfer coming back to Tampa, which we'll be talking about for 2 weeks, but vilified, and here he comes back in the Super Bowl. And Kerry Collins, up, down, now up again. 2 number 1 picks, making good.
Both teams will be playing with a lot of confidence.
For all of those that cut the highlights all year long for us at Primetime, and everyone in the studio, thank you. For Tom, I'm Chris. Enjoy the golf.